It makes them have to play like a gross backline.
And we are going to be seeing, at least so far, the Hulk from Spark Chief. A very good Hulk. We haven't seen a ton of Hulk in this tournament. Definitely still played. Adios is going to be in here as well on the Star-Lord. I am very much looking forward to this, as they are going to be running the Guardians comp, which is on the table. So that is where things did slide through. They did ban a ton of strategists, but we know that Flyquest can run this composition very well, as they use it to help them take home a tournament W.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they're very good at it. Also, Adiosin is interesting and unique, but I think realistically, it's like, yeah, you said they've done it before with the triple strategist composition. But the problem is, when was the last time that was the case? When was the last time they did win with that composition? So, maybe it's a test, kind of, I suppose, for them, right? Like, can Flyquest react to this right now? It seems like Flyquest, they didn't adapt very well versus Ego Death, so maybe the gamble could pay off for Solaris.
Okay, and here we go. They are going to both be using that strategy here just to get that extra HP as we start off. But we know Gilbert actually does play a pretty mean penny, so there's a chance that they do not make the swap. It looks like they are not going to be making the swap, and they are going to do that portal strat here with the mines that you'd mentioned.
Yeah.
This is genius. If they can find somebody. Yeah, it's an immediate pick if they can find this kidnap here.
Yeah, with the I can't believe it's actually happening, Sid. I didn't think they would actually do it.
Oh,
I can't believe they did it to be in ranked, or are they going to do it now? Here's the mines. Here's the portal. No, it didn't. Did it catch anybody? It did! Oh! They did a thing! They did a thing!
Great bond there to keep the team up from the mines, but it wasn't going to be enough as the kidnap actually worked here. They do collapse through it. Adios is going to res up, though. They do have the Guardians comp, so that it may not be as valuable as you think at the moment, as they do reset. Zelos goes down too, though, and that is 2 early passives gone, or 2 of the early team ups gone.
Hey, Porpoline left back to spawn. Porpoline's not with them right now, so they're a little bit discombobulated, and Flyquest are still here, and they had the point first.
Yeah, Flyquest is able to get points there. I like the idea a lot. The utilization, it did get rid of that passive early, so that could be a net benefit in the end. We do see Gale up on the high side here. Be popping up with Ultron. Ultron obviously known for very strong burst damage and already very close to ultimate. Gale does have ultimate with Ultron, already launching that towards the backline right now, as they are going to fully commit, but we do see that out pop here for Eternal Bond on Cloak, keeping the whole team up as they move forward. Gale unable to find anything. Best takes out Pisa, though, and Flyquest is still holding on here, 40%.
Yeah, Guru's able to get one. Gilbert with the follow-up. And I was about to say, this is what happens when you kind of edge too far into gimmick territory, I suppose, with those. But, I mean, it was good plays by Solaris, like you mentioned. Unfortunately, losing a member of their team in terms of Pizza Demon falling back. But, I mean, Gale, I wouldn't be surprised to see Gale become one of the best Ultron players in the game. I mean, he's known for being like a flex support type of player, flex strategist player. So, I mean, it's nice to see him, who is now in this game a duelist player, playing a lot of his original role.
Yeah, I think that this is still a decent position to be in. The problem is you got to look at that ult advantage right now very heavily on the side of Flyquest post this fight. They need to win this if you want Flyquest to move forward here. Oh, good attack there by Spark, unable to get the pick. Great bubble across the board to protect there, but they're going to keep the pressure forward. Ult advantage, once again, like I said, heavily on the side of Fly, as we do see the Dance Lord pop for Pizza Demon. Great work there, as Adios is not going to be able to find much value out of this ultimate. Zelos, Energy, and Vess already potentially trying to dunk on the Luna. Doesn't look like they're going to, as they keep the pressure forward. They're spinning to win here, and it does get a tardy 22% back here for Adios. Let's show you how strong that can be together. Ooh, picked immediately as Hulk goes back in. Great utilization of the iframe there, as when you are transforming, you can actually not be hit by anything on both transform methods, even when you go into your ultimate. So can be used offensively and defensively as they keep the fight going forward. Roughly 60% for Solaris.
Yeah, they're running in. Ayavakamoto connects from Guru as well into energy, but no elimination. The Soul Resurgence keeps everybody alive. Pizza Demon eventually with a clap takes down Spark Chief, and oh no, this is a little bit too late from Cooper. Over the top, Meteor doesn't connect at the very least, but 2 eliminations are huge. No reds is what to bring Best or Spark Chief back.
Energy gonna find one on Pizza Demon in the back there. Good idea with that Meteor M. Unfortunately did not land, but way to thread the needle there through the back line. Cooper is low, gonna reset there, as it looks like Solaris 85% still holding on, and ult advantage just barely on the side of Flyquest, as Adios will be there with Vess.
I mean, this is wild. It's a very fun match to see too, because we get to see the difference between playing, Adam Warlock composition versus the triple strategist with an Ultron. So right now, Flyquest not dealing with this current this current setup very well, but we'll see if they can find something with this Galactic Legend.
Yeah, I actually like the idea of running Strange into Guardians. I think that shield and the jump is good, but nice work by Adios here and Energy to clean up a few and take this point back, not allowing it to end just yet. But Solaris will be coming back with a ton of ultimates. Vest holding on, Zealous with the rest as well. Flyquest really needs to show up here in these next two fights if they want to take this back. But Solaris, like I was saying, I like the idea of forcing them out of Guardians and then trying to do your best to counter the Guardians comp. Right? Just knowing that they have to do it if you make them by banning out all the strategies. So kind of a genius play. Let's see if they can take home this first W here. But Flyquest looking really good in this fight, and they do have ult advantage for this next one.
And Bedtime swapping over to Hawkeye to get that freeze as well. Coming up, oh my god, what a freeze! So the clobbering time gets canceled.
Great dunk there by Vest on a pizza, but four, make that 5 as they shove in. The ult's gonna go out for Zelos, bringing everyone back, and the fight is so back and forth. I have Agamotto to shut that back down, but is not able to find any value. Cooper onto Gale, and it is going to be another battle on point with full teams brought back. Gale falls early on Solaris. Ult goes out for Borderline, and they're still holding on to point here. Is trying to deal as much damage as possible. Down goes another, but Energy doesn't have that res. Will they be able to shut this down here?
I mean, Spark Chief SWAT has the ultimate. Energy gets res, Vest gets one. Freeze on the point. Freezes Spark Chief for now. I mean, there's 2 freezes that can stop him from ulting, but it may not matter. Gale in the sky, trying to equalize it. Vest falls so low, but the healing is there.
Bedtime now over on the Hawkeye, finds one early on the Spark Chief, and that could be enough. Adios trying to get some picks here, putting a ton of pressure on, but they're also, oh, great dance around the back line there, playing smart, but Energy gonna find Bedtime. Gilbert onto Cooper, both of which losing one, numbers even down. Adios in the sky with the Bond. Bond's now gone, heavy cooldown there to wait out, and that could be enough of a win in of itself. 96% to 99, it's anyone's game. Guru coming in with an eye, finds one. Are they able to collapse? Gale takes out Adios. Energy goes down. Gale on a Spark Chief, onto Vest, and Gale takes them all out and gets point 1.
Are you kidding me? If this is anything to look forward to, I mean, sorry, if this is any match to watch today, you had to watch this one, right? Everybody knew that, right? Flyquest versus Solaris was going to be an absolute banger. And my God, we get it all, right? We get the callback to like 3 games ago when I was talking about how freaking Guru got me in ranked doing this stupid Penny Parker stuff, and it pans out there. I mean, it almost made me scared, right? Because they gave up like 12% doing that play. So now going to this next one, there's no way to get some cheese off again, surely, right?
Yeah, I just think I think the net trade of burning that passive for 2 of the back line of Fly was enough of a win, right? Like, yeah, it may have given up a little bit of a percent, but using that cooldown, forcing out that team up cooldown, which, you know, normally you play Guardians around the fact that you have multiple lives in that first fight. If you win that first fight here in Domination, you set up and you hope that you can kind of hold it indefinitely, but unfortunately, burning those cooldowns made them have that kind of free space in the next fight. They won it.
Wait,
and we are going to do the double teleport again.
Do they have a set freeze? Wait, because that's max range, right? The map? Oh, they're not doing that. Damn. The team up with the Hawkeye.
Yeah, I know. I know.
They like have a set freeze. Yeah, to counter the portal.
Actually, not sure of the max range. That's something I need to look into. I'm not sure.
I think you can if you like set it up from spawns. I think so.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, that's a great idea. Here you go. I thought that the freeze was going to be seen here, but no, holding on to it as we do pop out immediately. Borderline or Bedtime, excuse me, putting the pressure on. Unfortunately, not going to find too much as they're just trying to get point early. Great movement there by the thing. Spark Chief, good dash out, very low, great bond to keep them in the fight. And this is going to be a trade back and forth as we're seeing all spots everywhere. Gale going to be in the sky with Ultron. Pizza doing the same thing on the ground. Gilbert going to find one on Energy in the back line, and there's a pick by Gale. Bedtime on a Vest, and Solaris is just doing the job as the res goes up here for Zelos. That's 3 back. Guru onto Spark Chief. That res will come through too, and here comes the dunk Meteor M. Bang, throws out. He does hit a shield. Great placement of that shield there. Not able to find any value off that, but it was a good idea. Spark Chief trying to make the play on the back line. Still going to be traded back and forth. Zelos on a Gale. That's a massive pick there early on as we do see the pop here from the Eternal Bond to take them back to point, and nobody has gotten point just yet.
And nobody's on point just yet either. Like you mentioned, and Spark Chief just goes in. It feels like he's a CC kind of absorber. Now, I have Agamotto. Gets slept. So he can't get the elimination during it, but maybe after it, Guru takes out Cooper, but it's traded by Energy again.
Yeah, and that's another back and forth pick there onto both of the back line. Pizza Demon falls too, and now it's going to be heavily on the side of Flyquest, where there should be no back lines besides Gale up right now. Vest going to find Guru, and they're going to walk this with point, and Flyquest is now taking the pressure. You can tell they're angry about that first loss, and they want this W as the team is playing more fluid now. Ultimate advantage going to be on their side in this next fight.
Yeah, Flyquest. I feel like, wait, has Spark Chief gotten a single clobbering time off? It feels like every time it goes for it, it gets frozen or some form of CC slept, you know?
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, the freeze has been crucial right now. It seems like it's really putting in some work. But yeah, I mean, not quite yet, at least not the one that I've seen, but they are holding on to both those right now, which can be devastating here, especially with shield tanks in the front line. You can actually block it with Strange, a little pro tip. Oh, but it's not able to do so. You have to jump perfectly with your shield vest. Gonna drop Gilbert, and that's gonna put them back up in numbers. Bedtime trying to find an off-angle pick. Spark Chief does have that damage reduction, so you're not gonna see too much damage there. Still holding on the right side, trying to make an off-angle play. 93%. Make that 96 for alt. So Bedtime going to be popping this alt very soon here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he kind of makes it work, because he doesn't have that res. He doesn't have the damage boost from the Mantis, so he's lacking a lot of the resources that Audios gets on his side.
Yeah, it was a great ult there by Spark, and they were not able to counter. We talk about the counter play. You can actually, with Strange, if you jump prior to the ult getting to with your shield up, you can actually block the ultimate by the thing. But, you know, when it comes like a surprise like that, it's difficult. Up in the sky, Bedtime finding Cooper, looking for 2. Vest, let me see 3. Can we get more as Gale helps that out? The res is up, though, and that spin to win could be huge if they can get in there. But there's a ton of healing as the team is fully reset back on a point. And Flyquest at 78% and unrelenting here with the pressure. Great res by Zelos, who is putting them in a great spot. Adios finds Gilbert again with another ultimate. Adios getting this ult off cooldown incredibly fast.
Yeah, this ain't the vibe. I don't know what it is, but the Star-Lord is not working alongside not having the Adam Warlock Mantis team up. He's going to have to switch. He switches over to the Hela. It looks like towards the spawn now. They're also set. I mean, it's just next map. It's just next round at this point. I mean, somebody's making a touch. Nope. They use the Sonic. Sorry, they use the Sonic Seduction at the very least, but damn, that was terrible.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the seduction there. I think it was just to potentially cancel any portal play, but it was a little too late to see it. I'm not sure if I missed if they were starting
I think the Star-Lord is just not a vibe, dude. Without the Adam Warlock, without the Mantis. Sorry, I'm missing too much Zoomer lingo. You know, next we're gonna go brain rot. Give me some TikTok. You use TikTok more than me, Shipped.
Honestly, bro, you just hit my whole vocab real quick, and that hurts me.
I did. We got. That's all you got. That's all you got is.
I don't know, man. Put me on the spot now. No, but honestly, dude, that was insane. I mean, like you're saying, I think it was just difficult to try to match the Star-Lord when they have the full Guardians comp, and not only that, they have Bond up, right? So in those 1v1s, you throw Bond out. It's kind of like having the Invis shield in those 1v1s. It turns them into a 2v1 real quick and makes it almost impossible to win. So I do think. Look at Audio's damage, 20k. I mean, not able to find a lot of final hits there, as the team is doing a great job dancing off natural cover, which, you know, you'll see a lot of these pros, these people at this level, for those of you watching who maybe want to climb ranks, a key to playing strong is natural cover. You'll see them dancing around walls nearly every chance they can. They rarely are just standing out in the open. And here comes another potential kidnap play as they're trying to do this again. I love it with the Penny Parker. Do they find one? They do. They do get the job done. That is insane how that keeps working. I love to see it as like we talk about that portal ingenuity, just in crazy play.
It's every time. I mean, they're trying to play together. They try to counter it, but I mean, what can you do when it's just going to come out of nowhere at any time? Soul Bond used, though, like you said earlier, how strong that ability is. Now that it goes out, Flyquest, they try to sustain with Cooper's ultimate as well.
Yeah, we're going to see some ults not get a ton of value here while that is out, but you're just going to hold on to this point, holding the Eternal Bond. Great stun there by the Thing, trying to clobber everyone. Agamotto goes out. Bedtime finds 2. Borderline, excuse me, finds 1. Guru onto Zelos, and that is going to be virtually a full team wipe, as they are going to take point. And that's odds are when you take point this early in a domination, the numbers typically say that it's more in your favor to win this.
Yep, well-timed Agamotto from Guru, who kind of just carried the team there with that floral play to pick off Zelos, forced the res early, and then Agamotto before Energy even had a chance to use the Soul Resurgence. So now coming to this upcoming fight, Audio's going to have to go huge, maybe after Pizza Demon and his Fate of the Worlds. Meanwhile, on the opposite angle, Gilbert Noodle going to try to hit his Meteor M after all those shields from that Mantis ultimate goes away.
Bedtime doing a good job following up on that eye there, just raining out of the heads. Ooh, great dodge there by Adios. Well played, does have ult ready, but very low on HP. Bond is out, and now is when you can go to town. When you have this Bond out, it is a large cooldown. You got to play heavy. Bedtime with 3, Guru with 1, Gilbert with 2, and oh my, Solaris is looking clean as can be in these fights and still maintaining 4, soon to have 5 ultimates for this next fight.
Yeah, Bedtime is looking insane, and this is the guy that everybody talks about. They say, who was the best Moon Knight player in the last patch or 2 patches ago? It's Bedtime's story. Now who's picking up the Hela on these flank angles as well, playing so well, scouting out this flank, and is ready to go where Flyquest is. I mean, they're looking a little bit nervous, 60% on the board as well. They're taking such a long approach to this objective.
Yeah, I mean, this is the momentum shift we talk about. It gets nerve-wracking. Now we're even in alts in this next fight, and you know, Flyquest needs to get this win here on this point, just for the mental. Oh my goodness! Speaking of bedtime, adios to adios. What a bunch of shots there by bedtime on the high side, and they're going to keep the pressure going. Guru with an ultimate out gets a few. Can they collapse? They do. Down goes 2. Make that 3 as Guru is continuing to move forward. Vest is going to find borderline though, and the res is up. The team's going to try to retake with an 87%, and this is where things get intense. Great dodge there by bedtime using the iframe. We do see Guru taking out Vest. Adios in the sky, trying to get some value with this ultimate. Gilbert very low now. No more cooldowns. Down goes Gilbert. Make that 2 as Flyquest finally is able to take over this point, and they've got to lock it in here and make this a home base.
Yep, well-timed res from Zelos, and played it well up top, utilizing the res to kind of get to a position where he probably wasn't going to get found. And Solaris, and now coming with ultimates, Guru with the portal walks to the right side to make sure he can't get stunned. And who are they going to try to kidnap here? They're looking for a backline.
Okay, and here we go. Teleport on. They do have time here. Plenty of time on. 99 to 20. Oh, there was that jump I mentioned. Guru not getting stunned out. Spark Chief still going to find Pizza. Great play there by Spark to get to the backline through that ultimate. Bedtime's going to find energy, though, in the high side again with a great ult. And they are just owning this positioning, driving the team back. The team is all scattered all over the place. Bedtime finds Vest. Another goes down as we are losing bodies left and right. 99%. They've got to get on there. Spark Chief goes into touch. Very low, and down he goes. Can Solaris win map 1? And the teleport comes through for energy. They got to get in there, and they do. Retake again. Can the next fight work out for him? Bedtime trying to keep the pressure on the high side, or excuse me, on the off angle, keeping the pressure onto the tanks. Adios playing around that portal. Great wall play. Using that portal as well is very smart, and that's a huge pick by Vest, and that is massive for this fight. But the base is actually captured by Solaris here. We're still maintaining. Gale on the, up now, trying to find a pick onto the back line. Guru is going to use that ult, takes out Spark Chief. And man, these fights are crazy. And this one could go to Solaris, but it's so back and forth.
Res soon. Oh, they have res soon, but they're just on point. Oh my goodness. They're still alive. Look, oh, it's right there. It's just the nick of time.
Oh my. This is so back and forth. As out goes another ult. We do see the Eternal Bond, and there's another Eye of Agamotto. Didn't get a ton of value. The dance floor goes out for Pizza, and it's a stall now. It's going to be a neutral fight after this, and it's going to be of major importance if Solaris wins this fight. It is map 1 to Solaris, and it is roughly even on point. Great angles here. Everyone's all over the place. Up in the sky goes Gilbert. This could be a huge throw. Tries to land one, not able to do so, but Guru in the meantime takes out Vest. Borderline takes out Spark Chief. Bedtime onto Adios. Will they close this out? Energy goes down, and that's going to do it as Solaris takes map 1 against Flyquest, the Cinderella story of the stream team getting the job done.
My goodness. Frozen Airfield finished off by Solaris in a very, very scary last point. Oh my goodness, Solaris taking map number 1 is kind of absurd considering Flyquest got sent down due to a little bit of cheese, it felt like, and now against Solaris, down 1 before leaving the tournament. In Solaris, what a game from Gale, what a game from Guru. The whole team stepped up. Bedtime story with 20 eliminations
across the board. Got Zelos on the Cloak. Cooper's going to be on that Loki. So yeah, the healing is going to be significantly more simplified in terms of what they have to do to get the, to get pushing forward here. So we look up top. We've got Gilbert is going to be on that Magneto. We saw a lot of good ults there, but then Guru is showcasing the Wolverine, which is something we did not have eyes on in that last match at all.
Aegis Path is the map we're heading to. It's going to be a convoy. And man, I mean, we're both looking forward to this one. Tournament life on the line for Flyquest and both of these teams, right? So if Solaris were to lose this one, I mean, momentum could shift back into Flyquest's favor. So I think the ban phase went a little bit better for them. I mean, it's tough when you have so many strategists get banned. I think the strategists, like if you have 1 or 2 strategist bans, it's not that big of a deal because, okay, you have backup Luna Snow. Okay, you have backup Loki. Okay, no, you have backup Cloak and Dagger. Invisible Woman. There's like 4 really good strategists. After that, you kind of fall off a cliff, right? You have Mantis. You're forced to do Adam Warlock res comp with that at that point, right? There's so many pivots you have to make, I think, once those 4 strategists get banned. And unfortunately, there's 4 bans that you have to throw at the other team. Flyquest didn't really react to it last time. This time they do.
And here we go again. Energy finding Gilbert early there. We do see the Wolverine matchup on both sides. Excuse me, Solaris actually not running it. I believed that they were going to do it initially, but no, it is going to be just Energy. Adios going to be running that Punisher now to change things up. Spark Chief on the Groot, a very strong Groot. And then we've got Solaris, who are on the good are going to force back a little bit here on the defensive position, force back into the corner to reset as a team. But, you know, this is getting a little dicey here as they're kind of getting pushed in heavy. The momentum very much on the side of Flyquest as they get this point around the corner relatively quickly.
Yeah, already around that first corner, like you mentioned, and this is what we saw in the previous one. It's tough when you give up that much space, and no ultimates are charged either. Solaris missing those ultimates. Gale comes back in with the Ultron ultimate, but it's against the Cloak and Dagger. And that's so... Wait, they actually got the elimination somehow. What? Is nobody playing in this ult? What happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure what just happened. Cooper gets 2, make that 3, and they're continuing to go and just rain here with Cloak. The ult gets popped right back. We do see the Fate of Both, or excuse me, the Eternal Bond out right now. Best gets bedtime, and that's enough to shove them through point 1. Ton of time on the clock here as they're going through with 5 minutes and almost 10 seconds on. So this second point is going to be very difficult to defend the entire time.
I don't know how Cooper carried it. And also, Chip, I don't know if we know this. Like, does the blind double stack if you have 2 blinds and a copied Cloak and Dagger? Like, if you have Cloak and Dagger and then the Loki Cloak and Dagger, throw on the Terra Cloak?
Well, yeah, if you separate them, right? Like, it's not gonna... Do you mean, like, timing-wise? They're on
no, if you, like, throw them both, it's just one instance no matter what?
Yeah. It is just one instance. It's all under separate timers, so you can do it and stagger it a little bit, but...
Right.
Actually, I'm not sure about the damage increase, if that's what you mean. Actually, I'm not sure about that. That's a great question. So, Gale gonna put some damage onto the backline on Cooper. Bedtime drops Adios. Gale onto Spark Chief. And now we're seeing more of the old Solaris we saw in this last match as they're playing hyper aggro and just raining on the backline. Good shot there by Gale to clean up and get a triple.
Yeah, nice shots from Gale. And I love to see Bedtime also back onto that Moon Knight. Guru over to that Wolverine. This is that triple strategist, or sorry, wait, yes, triple strategist, double Vanguard, solo Vanguard. Or sorry, triple strategist, 2 duelists and 1 Vanguard. Getting late in the night. And I love that composition. I think running either 3 duelists or 3 strategists can work out pretty well these days, and it's kind of an evolution of the meta. Here comes Adios, though, with an aggressive ultimate.
Yeah, we are going to see that pop there. We do have Bedtime, who's an incredibly strong Moon Knight. We had that conversation earlier as they find Cooper in the back. Energy going to drop Gilbert. Guru right back on Adios. Now we will match that Wolverine. Guru, a very strong Wolverine as well. Going to try to reset here with the team, find some value, potentially finding that Groot, right? It is a big problem for Groot, but it can get tackled off. So here we go as the pressure proceeds forward. Spark Chief pops that Strangling Prison. Zelos going to ult out too, as we do see now another Eternal Bond just slowing up the pace. Spark Chief finds Guru there though, and they're keeping the movement, the pressure forward. 3 minutes and 23 seconds. We might need to see a TP here for the retake, but it's not quite chosen yet.
Not yet. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. Over the top, look, Energy sitting on a twig. That's what it's like. Short kings. We can stand on twigs like that. Meanwhile, on the main side, here comes the last stand from Guru. Doesn't connect too much. It connects onto Energy. Meteor M connects into those crystals. So everybody's still alive because of that Loki. Not an ultimate, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I see from both sides here. Things are now slowing up a bit. The teams look like they found their footing in the beginning. It was very much a walk there by Fly, and now the entirety of the team made some switches, some strong switches. We now see Guru on the Wolf. We now see Bedtime on the Moon Knight just to try to break some of this equipment. Energy now going to try to find the off-angle Guru, and does. Good trade there on a Pizza. Great freeze, but immediately woken up. Not going to be a great percentage of survival there as Pizza goes down. And they are running through on point 3 with 4 minutes on the clock, so they are hustling.
I forgot, this is literally like Solaris's worst map. They for some reason they always do so bad on it. I mean, they almost lost to a team that didn't qualify in Arrival 7 on Idrisil Path, or they did. They literally got first held on this map. So something's not working right for Solaris on Convoy, and maybe specifically just on this map. Now, incoming, Bedtime story, he's got the hand of Conchu. Flyquest, though, I mean, they played around a solo. Energy gets stunned. Is anybody gonna die to this, though?
Yeah, it's solid damage there, forcing out some cooldowns, but no follow-up. Spark Chief very low, and they do manage to get one as down goes Spark Chief, forcing out some more ultimates. Gilbert going to clean that one up, and here comes the judge, jury, executioner. Will it get value there? Up in the sky! Gale and Gilbert say, not today, and shove it right back at them, and now they're just going to sweep and clean up everyone else as Energy falls, and we will see more, I'm sure, unless the reset happens.
I love that. I love the Thing team up with the Wolverine, by the way. Gale wants to run out of there. He's like, hey, pick me up, please. Pick me up. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to that. Solaris playing over here. I mean, they still have Some ultimates to work with. The Zillion coming. Oh my God, Gale. Take him out of here. Bring him back to the team.
Fastball special is terrifying to go against. You throw him up in the sky, let him do his thing, as Wolverine is so tricky to counter. And here comes the Hurricane as energy flies through towards the backline. Ton of damage out, but fortunately there was an invisible boundary to keep them healthy. Borderline doing a good job kind of dancing in the back, great positioning there to stay far away. Guru takes out Spark Chief. You rarely see the Thing work well into a group like that. As Vest takes out Borderline though, and it is back and forth. Cooper gonna find 2. Energy and Adios and Vest sweeping the rest. And they are shoving towards the final point with 2 minutes on. They got to get out of here quickly.
Yeah, no Doctor Strange to block the portal, to block the doors, though. So Solaris will be able to touch with that Captain of America. They'll have a little bit of time. Bedtime Story swaps over to Hawkeye's wall off of Moon Knight. Oh, no way!
Bedtime onto Cooper there. Great shot there with the Hawkeye. Some strong damage here. Bedtime again onto Adios. Great shots again. Just raining from afar, doing a ton of work.
Oh my God.
Guru takes out Energy. Spark Chief onto Bedtime, returning that right back. But Gale on top of his face is going to be very difficult to escape. And down goes Spark as well. Great retake there by Solaris.
All right, maybe this is the switch up they needed. Maybe Bedtime Story on the Hawkeye is the way to go. Gale is a good Hawkeye too, but so far on the Wolverine, he's looked pretty clean. Now, like you said, they have that Jeff, they have the Storm. All they need is this combination. It makes sense, right? But Solaris is very good at playing around this Storm Jeff combination with the Sharknado or Jeffnado.
Yeah, they did have a ton of success with that in the past, but they were at that point running Warlock and Cloak and just kind of staying at range. So it may be different now. Great tackle there out of the sky. The amount of times I've seen tackles of Flyers. Gilbert going to clean up energy there. Well done by the team to collapse on that. Force the team back to reset with 59 seconds on. They could do this. They could hold them off before point 3.
I don't know if Flyquest is hard tunnel on this, but I would not be surprised if they're just trying to play for this Jeffnado. Like, they're just going to play slow, force out ultimates, and then just wait for this combination to come up, because that's their win condition. That's how they win the game, is that they get Jeffnado and then they just eat everybody in the sky.
Freeze goes out,
Just
trying
frozen.
to find out. Falls frozen. Oh, that would have been disgusting. Great idea on Adios, but great shield and great foresight there by Vesta. Not allow that to happen. Bedtime on the off angle. Gonna pop that all. Deal a ton of damage out. Just try to drop some close. Out go Crystals. Good cooldown utilized there. Forced it out, but this is gonna be final fight territory. It's all about who can clutch up now, as Guru is now on the cap, popping that ultimate.
I mean, you know they're just playing slow for this Jeffnado, right? They're not going to use anything. You just wasted 2 ultimates, kind of. It's tough, and they're going to have to live now coming up as Adios builds his ult, unless somebody gets picked early. Adios and Cooper both get stunned.
Yeah, this is going to be very important to burn down Storm before this gets threatening. It's all about focus at this point, as we do see ult ready for Spark Chief as well. Flyquest ready to make this happen. We have the entirety of the ults on the side of Fly, and we're going to initiate with the strat line. Great bubble there to protect. Oh my, up in the sky. Looking for the back line, forces it in the spawn door. Does not find value, but good idea. Cooper onto Gale, gets 1, and now here comes the Jeff. Here comes the Hurricane as Jeff is spinning round and round, starting to sweep and eat everybody, and that could do it for them to take the point. As down go 2, and that is going to be difficult for them to hold on now.
I mean, this is so smart. I mean, you only need to win 1 fight. You have 2 minutes left. Everybody's running into delay. But it makes sense, right? Switch to Jeff, switch to Storm, and you just kind of win eventually, because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide, right? Compared to Domination, it was a lot easier to hide from Team Envy when they did that combination. But now that we move to a map like Aegis Path, I mean, where are you going to hide? I guess your spawn, but the cart's so close to the end there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, really well done. Good decision making by Fly there. I got to show him some love. I mean, I'm with you that switch, Jeffnado, and just playing for that final ult is everything. And I think you're right. I think if Solaris just kind of held on, I mean, it's very difficult to try to force a KO onto Storm during that ultimate. You really got to be focused and prepared. And honestly, there's very few things that can get the job done quite like a potential Magneto or Iron Man and just force it on him. But even with like the shield up from Vest, it's just so hard to get that KO on an ulting Storm Jeff combo. So I am looking forward to see what happens here with Solaris, but really smart play by Fly.
No, this game is so funny. It's just crazy. It's just so funny that the fact that there's just Jeffnado exists. You know, the fact that Hawkeye can just freeze people through walls. I don't know. Some of the pros I see, you know, sometimes like I said about Light crashing out on X, about how he like, get this out of the game, get rid of this freeze from Hawkeye with the Luna Snow. He mentioned it's all out of love, right? All these pros love the game, and that's why they're so passionate on social media about, you know, certain patch notes and changes and stuff. And I don't know, like, Jeff Storm is just so funny, that team up. The changes they've made to this game, the saddest thing is we haven't seen Jeff plus Venom team up. We haven't seen the tentacle healing. Maybe because it's not very impactful, but
yeah,
we'll see it maybe.
I've always been curious about that too. I never really saw the value on my end, but I was always curious if the pros thought it was worth. I mean, if you do run, you know, if you have a solid Venom, I don't see why not, but I don't think it does too much burst. Great work there by Bedtime to find Best early, and this is where you get a ton of value with Moon Knight off the rip here into a squad just trying to hold point early, and they are just walking through them as we do have that res there from Best. Tackle coming in from Guru shortly. Great play on immediately on the Best again, and down goes the Vanguards. Bedtime going to clean up and take out Zelos, and this is looking very similar as the portal's coming in quickly.
Ooh, are they going to go for 3 fights, though? I mean, the cart did not push at all. So Flyquest teleports in. I mean, the spawn's pretty far, though, but they're getting a fight here now early quick.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very good strategy to take the force teleport and then be able to come back on a retake and force this thing on this first bend. And I think that's just experience there from Fly, understanding what they need to get done. But Gale and Guru, again, both Vanguards go down. Energy going to res back up from Adios as they do have that rocket. But Bedtime almost uncontested here with Moon Knight, just dealing a ton of damage onto the backline as Guru just kind of walks at him. Spark Cheek goes down, and there goes the tackle into the sky onto the Strange. 1 HP. Can they clutch it? Yep, down goes Energy again. Teleport's gone. It is going to have to be a natural retake with an ultimate if Cooper can get that off.
I mean, I like this, though, so far from Solaris. I mean, the idea behind the Moon Knight makes sense. It's just like he kind of counters the Loki. It's not that straightforward. Like, you don't straight up hard counter Loki, but it is nice because you break the clones. And, I mean, Moon Knight does a good job versus him. Also, you get the team up with the Cloak and Dagger. So there's a lot of value to be had with Moon Knight, even though he's maybe not seen as the meta.
Yeah, the team up definitely has some value. Obviously, just makes him go essentially invisible in that bubble and makes it annoying to deal with. And sometimes people actually use that as a distraction technique and place themselves outside of that. Oh, but great tackle there. Guru finds 4, but unfortunately not able to get anyone yet as he's back on that group. Just so much movement, tackling him back and forth, messing with the heads of the Vanguards. But unfortunately, no pick as we do have, actually, I say that. We get one. Down goes Pizza Demon there from Zelos, and it's still a back and forth fight. Ultimates very much on the side of Flyquest, who were able to hold on to that without using virtually anything.
Yeah, they lost a lot of their damage follow-up in Bedtime, and now everybody's backing up. So good recontest from Flyquest, getting those 3 fights like you mentioned. Now they have Jeff Nato available. And Guru, sad he can't close it out. And this is the problem. Solaris just kind of have a hard time with this first objective. They've done it. They've struggled here before, and you can see they're getting desperate playing that Moon Knight again, when honestly they switched off it before because it wasn't working that well. And now Solaris, they have a lot of ultimates. We'll see if they can figure something out, but so does Flyquest.
Yeah, I like the Moon Knight into the Loki just to kind of help with all these clones and just get the free hits and damage out there. Guru, Gale, Gilbert, Gale again, utilizing those ultimates very effectively and sweeping before Flyquest can use 3. Super well done. Wow, what an assault coming in here incredibly quickly and taking that first point, 3 minutes and 30 on.
And, you know, I don't hate this either because now Solaris, they used every single ult, but they're against Jeff Nato. Like, you're not going to win versus Jeff Nato. No, like, nobody wins versus Jeff Nato. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just take this white loss versus that Jeff Nato. Oh, wait. Guru with the grab. Save comes out, though. That's a huge cooldown to get rid of in terms of the regenerative crystals.
And here comes that Jeff Nato now. If we're going to say anyone can counter it, this team has done it, and they have one in the past. But Jeff Nato coming in, taking out Borderline quickly, trying to throw a few out. Gilbert and Guru, down go all of them. But it did utilize 2 ultimates there, right? So you got to think of the trade. It's a forced reset, but they used 2 out of it. And they just got to bounce back in this next fight.
I'm sorry, it's just too funny. I can't help but laugh every time that ultimate comes out. I mean, it eats the terrain, too. It eats the destructible terrain just flying around. It just looks like the most ridiculous thing ever. Now Solaris, wait, they're doing it. They're copying it. No way. 2 Jeff Nichols on the field. Are you serious?
I like to see it. Let's see who gets this done first. Gale on the high side, trying to find some damage, building that ult quickly. Already at 80% and just used that ultimate 2 fights ago. Bedtime at 61. Solaris just trying to gain some charge, now play slow, but Guru gets picked early. So well done there by Fly. Guru gonna have to force back. 66% on ultimate advantage. Right back in Flyquest though for this next fight as Zelos, Cooper, and Vess are all holding on. Gale ready to press Q, but it could buy at least Zelos with that Eternal Bond, forcing something out, because the goal and the main thing you want to do with Ultron is force out cooldowns because you can get your ult back relatively quickly, if not faster than anyone in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of spamming around. The top part, Guru's back over to Wolverine as well. You can see he's swapped from Wolverine to Groot. I mean, it seems like he's been indecisive at the current moment. Here comes a counter. Ultimate on the side is going to be met by Meteor Remedy. Oh no, Borderline goes down.
Vess gonna shut that down, but Bedtime, here comes the Jet. Oh my God! Unfortunate there for them, but well played by Fly with good patience and escape. I mean, Adios just sprinting away so fast with that Jeff bubble, not able to get tracked down, and that's 2 ultimates, unfortunately, for no real value. As it does happen like that, it just seems like Flyquest is very experienced with this comp, and Solaris just needs to use it, and now they're going to switch out here to not force it out and instead try to get some strong damage to shut it down.
Yeah, nice, like you said, nice move from Adios. Now coming this next fight, Flyquest has 4 ultimates ready to go. Solaris, they're switching everything up. They're going over to the Hawkeye. I like how they're at least trying to figure something out. But you have a minute left to go, and here comes another Jeff NATO.
Wow. Coming in hot right now onto the point. Just trying to make sure nobody's on it as there is 50 seconds on. Going to find somebody at the very end. A lot of time there with the NATO, forcing them back to their spawn as Gilbert falls. Guru going to find 3 though, and Guru on a rampage, taking another out of the sky. Bedtime going to clean up energy, and this is the kind of work you need to force your team's momentum in the forward direction as they push through this first corner.
I mean, I'm surprised they did so well there. Guru with the last stand connected flush. What a beautiful last stand from the Wolverine player right now. Guru coming online, 25 seconds as well. He needs to play well. No ultimates though. Flyquest has that Strangling Prison. They've got Zelos and his ultimate as well. I mean, what does Solaris do? They have to play towards the car. Gilbert trying to get a kidnap.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Forcing them on now. We are going to have a full team fight. They're back in the corner. Just use that actually portal to block off that angle. Not bad at all. It's going to force them to have to peek around on that right side, not giving a lot of access to that hidden little side angle with the health pack. But now it's still going to be forced out with these ultimates as we see Zelos going to use that Eternal Bond. Now we have the Strangling Prison. He managed to land. It was,
oh, yeah.
Spiked there, was stuffed by somebody as I had no eyes on energy, going to take out Guru in the sky. Gale has this ult, and it's an OT now, using it to heal and keep the team up on point. It is a lot of damage out there right now.
I mean, he's trying to keep Gilbert alive, but it is desperation hour. Moose missing most of the team. Here comes energy as well, and the Storm ultimate can at times do this. No, he's ran down by a tornado. Unfortunately, could not escape. The NATO chaser goes down, and now just onto Gale. Gale's gonna fall. Gilbert desperately clinging onto his life. Not gonna stay alive till the KO comes through and everybody else goes down. Flyquest will get it done on an digital path to tie the series.
Back to map 3. It is still alive that every single one of these final games seems to be going to map 3. Wow, what an experience. It goes to show you Jeff NATO is terrifying. That was pulled out and the rest was history, man. I think we will see that likely gone in the future as Flyquest seemingly knew exactly what to do with that every single time, finding a ton of value with every ult.
Yeah, every time. Indeed, and I like the idea, you know, behind switching constantly, trying to figure out like the correct comp to play. And Gale's always going to play well on Ultron, but I don't know what it is. Guru has all switched to Groot for a second, but then switched back to Wolverine. I don't know. I think it's probably his worst character. Like his Groot is not ideal. I think his other like his Emma. So like you mentioned, they're taking out those flyers, making sure they can't do as much.
Yeah, here we go off the rip. I like the comps that they're showing right now. I believe maybe Gilbert could just be playing the penny here for that early team up as we see Pizza making the switch too, or they could be a decision for the first point. I do like these more unique comps because I do think that one of the secret strategies for these teams is playing things that they don't necessarily scrim into all the time, because you get in this habit of knowing when to ult, knowing when not to ult based on the comps that you're used to seeing. But when you see more unique compositions, even with Penny, who, you know, at the level that you can play Penny, that I know Gilbert can play Penny, you can cancel ultimates almost like it's her job. So there is something to be said of running the Penny, but I'm not sure if it's just going to be for the armor take off the rip or if they're ready to defend.
That's a good point. I think in EU we saw people running I believe it was Squirrel Girl alongside Penny Parker, just, you know, two stuns on the Squirrel Girl and then another stun on the Penny, like you said. And then I know you get another stun if you play with Spider-Man. I don't know if you even really could force Spider-Man and Squirrel Girl because they're two like opposite characters in terms of play style. But there's definitely something to think about, right? There's always some innovation that can happen, right, Shiv? There's like that's what the great part about this game is that there's so many different things and unique things you could do. And Shiv, they're doing it. Here's the Penny Parker.
I mean, I love it. I love the team ups. I love how that shakes up meta. Smart Chief actually going to use that teleport and then switch over to Groot, or excuse me, Hulk. I like that idea, as we do see turret up now, just trying to get alt charge here for Gale, who is going to put a ton of pressure on the whole team, playing on that high off angle. This is a very different strategy than we've ever seen on this map. I wonder how it's going to look, as Hulk will be coming down main here at an alt angle, just kind of waiting at this point until the team initiates. They are taking this space now. What a crazy idea on the switch off portal. So I'm liking what I see, but this may just be a stall for them. They might just be able to hold this, but since they are running that Penny, it does force Penny to reset and reset all of those mines.
Yeah, they flipped it up, and the Hulk is interesting, like you said. I mean, the Immobilize comes through onto the heli, but gets help from the invisible woman. And, you know, I think we talked to Blurry. He said Hulk is like sort of a niche pick almost, and maybe we're going to see, wow, nice freeze on the Guru as he's trying to fly up, and everybody's looking towards him. Energy's fine, found 2, found 3 actually on the top side as well. So Hulk actually working out too, just kind of surrounded this team with the Human Torch, and right now Solaris sent back to spawn, and it's brutal because they lost Guru last, so that portal is not going to be there. They just have to give up this point.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, exactly. It's going to have to be given up. It's a very difficult conversation to where you maybe swap off Strange when you get KO'd and hope that somebody else can pick him up. But it's just, you know, this kind of all charge across the board. It's just not worth it. I totally understand the reset here as a team, but what a strategy there by Fly. Definitely very different than what we've seen in the past. And I think it was so, like I mentioned, you know, you can't really scrim against stuff like that because it's so unique, and it helps. And it really did pay out for him there as they pushed this thing through with 4 minutes in almost 40 seconds on.
4 minutes, and Spark Chief's going for that flank already. Gets that immobilized as well. There with the clapped Pizza Demon. Doesn't matter though. He just claps in his own. Energy's going to go down. KOs him. Energy gone. I mean, that's so much damage removed. Do you still try to win this with ultimates here, Ship?
Yeah, we are going to see Gale ready now to launch. Yep, as we talk about it, out goes Final Judgment. Ton of pressure out as they get 2. Cooper and Vest go down. Great shots there for Gale as they sweep 3. Make that soon to be 4. Really well played by the team, and good follow-up there by Gilbert with an insane Strangling Prison.
I mean, is there any way to live there? Because, I mean, you get the extra damage from the Strangling Prison, you get the damage from Gale, and then you get everybody else targeting the same heroes. So it's going to be difficult to live even with Eternal Bond, even through how much healing that you mentioned that does earlier. It's like 255 a second, right? It's like unbelievable amount of healing, but nothing can stop Punisher in that ultimate. It's so strong. Guru also hiding. Has that Agamotto ready to go this fight.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get out of that situation. You mentioned just surviving the KO there. You actually have to turn and try to burn Groot walls, but even so, at that point, oh my goodness, bedtime! Make that 3 soon to be. What a shot there, forcing out the Luna 2. And now you can see Solaris is finding their footing, playing very confidently and looking really good with each one of these ults, not being overcommitted, just using a couple at a time and still finding a ton of value as Gale goes on an off angle, takes out Spark for the stagger. What a play here. Solaris is holding really strong on this defense.
Somebody chat clip that way. So what happened? I mean, they just like literally, how did they die to the, or how did they go down to the Hella ultimate, considering it? That shouldn't be enough damage to eliminate through Luna's Snow dance floor, right?
Yeah, I mean, if your team is focused enough, you actually do enough damage with the ultimate, yeah, with the Goddess of Death, actually. You do enough damage if your team is focused on the correct person. It's just like anything. As long as your team is focused enough, you can actually burn through virtually every ult, but obviously Luna is one of the more tough ones to do that through. But here we go with a nice tackle there. Gilbert Noodle goes down from Zelos with his copy. You see Agamotto going out for Guru, who tries to get a few, and they do. Gale followed up with another ult. How does he have this ult again? 1 goes down, make that 2, just collapsing now, trying to find more. And they're going to use this Psionic, and that is going to be massive. It finds a few as Adios takes out Gale. Cooper on a pizza. Cooper again on a Guru. And yeah, Luna can do a ton of damage at range. And we are going to see Bedtime trying to find a few just to slow things up. And no, at least Bedtime went over and got KO'd on point, and that's how you got to do it with a reset.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried there for Flyquest. I mean, that took so long to break through this area, but they still have a large time bank, so maybe it wasn't as long as we could assume. Solaris, though, coming back with the portal now. They're going to be here towards the point. Running on out of here is Gale, but he's immediately met by Vess. Kicks him in the face.
Up in the sky we go for Bedtime again. A lot of damage out there. You can see the burst, but it would have to be super committed for them to find some value out there. Gilbert holding on, waiting for, actually going to go back into the spawn door. Great play there to get healed up. Oh, Zello's going to find Pizza, though, and they do get the point early. Very unfortunate if you're a fan of Solaris. They just were not able to retake here. And Flyquest, playing with a ton of momentum, do have that Strangling Prison ready, as we have the Invisible Boundary ready from Borderline.
You know what? This tends to be a problem now for Solaris. Right now, we're kind of figuring out their weaknesses. It seems to be they're really good on domination. They've figured out how to play that map. Unfortunately, when we head to Convoy, when we head to Convergence, they tend to struggle. We'll see if they can adjust. We'll see if they can make some changes. They put Bedtime Story back over to that Hawkeye, Guru over to the Thing. But it's just tough because they didn't give enough prioritization towards their vanguards. I mean, you're forcing Guru onto heroes that honestly it seems like he's not as comfortable on. He seems to be so good on Emma Frost and these heroes, but now with those banned for him, I mean, he's kind of been in limbo.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to play Thing into... Oh, that's a good tackle here, Gilbert, trying to find some early picks, but the goal now is to use that damage reduction to your advantage. Gale gonna walk them right back in. Found a ton of value with these ults so far, making Adios dip. Great shots there by Gale, understanding the destructible environment, and that just comes with time. Well played, and knowing what they could do there. An off angle like crazy from the Hela, gonna try to chase that down, just waiting, as Hela is still holding up there and not getting KO'd, but very close. Spark Chief gonna pop that strangling, and immediately countered back by Guru. Great stun to buy them time and to counteract that ultimate, but Spark Chief still finds one. We're gonna walk in here and try to slow up the pace, just start tackling and just dance and just hope that they can hold on to this point as the team respawns here. Gale finding energy. Vest gonna take out Guru though. Spark Chief onto Gale and it's back, and it looks like Flyquest is holding on strong here, but Gilbert does have that last stand with Wolverine.
He does, but there's no vanguard, so he needs to create his own space here, but maybe with a little bit of help from his strategist. He tries to walk in, they know it's coming. Here comes that Hawkeye ult to kind of create a little bit of space, but man, solo tank Thing now going over to the Doctor Strange. At least that's a different tank to kind of throw at Flyquest. Running this triple strategist or running triple duelist is interesting. Energy meanwhile teleports back over the top on the flank.
Yeah, blocking LOS there. So you saw the teleport actually in an angle that makes it difficult for healers to look up into that top side of the stairs. So smart play as Vest is going to pop out with the Psionic. Gilbert finds a few. Bedtime cleans it up, and that's a massive play. As once again, Gilbert with these ults have been massive. 50 seconds on the clock, and they've got to, at this point, just try to stagger as many enemies as they can. Zelos goes down as Bedtime on the Hawkeye, finding a lot of these picks. And yeah, I'm with you that honestly, I was worried they're going to be able to take the space there, but Bedtime using that Hawkeye ult was kind of the way that they took that space back. So although it may have looked like they were just unloading into the front line, it was a great play.
And look, Penny Parker is now on the field. Guru's back over to the Thing. They're trying to bunker up in this last phase. They know that you can play around this corner with those mines, and then you're against the Punisher, against the Wolverine, and they already get an early pick too. With a nice stun from Bedtime Story, they froze 3 people there.
Yeah, what a play. Gale gonna find Best. I love the bunker cop. 11 seconds on. They have to take this. The portal's gone now because they tried to use it previously. Understanding the breakables again. Out goes Luna ultimate. Gonna try to drive the team to point. They got 3 seconds. They've got to get here now. And do they touch? They do. Wow. What a last second touch here. Adios gonna find Guru there. Trying to walk. But those mines potentially getting a ton of value. Unfortunately, not able to. Breaking them down. Good focus by the back line. Keep the team up. Bedtime gonna try to take space with this ult. Dealing a ton of damage. Will it be enough for them to retake? Bedtime unloading now. No pick just yet, but you can't imagine the damage going through. Gilbert gonna ult up, try to set up some mines to slow down the pace and bunker up. But now they've got Cap in the back line. Gale finds energy. Bedtime onto Zelos. Gale again onto Vest with the turret. Can they get more? Gale onto Spark Chief. And at this point, it looks like they're gonna hold on. Incredible hold with the bunker comp by Solaris to drive this thing and hold them before point 3.
Oh my God, how did they hold? How did they do it? Guru on the Thing went down early, got KO'd, left his team in a 5 versus 6, but somehow Solaris, with the ultimates they had, came back to stop Flyquest. And now Flyquest going over to defense. They made it pretty far, Shib. That's the problem, is that we both know, I mean, how hard it is to attack on these maps, right? They still had huge time banks and stuff. You could say that maybe they choked it towards the very end, but regardless, Solaris, I mean, great hold. Now moving over to attack. We'll see how they do. This is like a very similar thing that we saw with Envy. I mean, it's a little bit better, right? A little bit better for Solaris. I think versus Envy, they got a little crushed on this map, and now they just need to figure out a way to take first point. That's the biggest problem, is that they don't really have a great strategy to taking first point. I know that last time versus Envy, they struggled a little bit, right? Bedtime Story was figuring out what to play. He was playing Hela, getting absolutely dominated by a Psylocke player. Now he doesn't have to worry about that, right? Maybe the fact they don't have to play against Team Envy speedily on the Psylocke, one of the best Psylocks in the game, maybe it'll be easier for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It's like they had that struggle with the final point there against Envy and just, almost held on, but it seems like they made some solid changes. I do actually really like the Penny bunker comp they put there at the end, because it just forces your team to play so different. You've got to watch out for those nets, no matter if they have mines on or not. It's just a whole nother level. Oh, okay, and they are going to try to make a portal play. They're going to try to set up with Punisher here. I like this a lot. Going to give him a great LOS as the team's going to walk through. Oh, man, this could be a fun one to watch. As we do see them set up in the back line, they are expecting something. This is a crazy position to hold as we do get this out early. Team's going to try to collapse fast as we deal a ton of damage with the turret. Everyone's collapsing in heavy onto the point, force them down. Great positioning here. Gilbert finds one onto Spark Chief, and this strategy might just work as bedtime stakes. Cooper, is this going to be enough? Will they be able to find more? Remember, count to 20 and get inside before it ends, and they did. As Vess drops Gilbert Noodle. We've got Gale taking another pick on Adios. Back and forth again. Gale on to Vess, and I think they did it. The teleport's going to come here through with Spark Chief, though.
It's a little bit further back as well, so they're going to have to run back in together. The clock comes through, but oh my goodness. Somehow they're still alive. They're actually coming back. Gale's gone.
Yeah, that's an early take there. Energy back on the Torch. A very strong Torch player and a ton of damage out. We saw in the first map, I think, it was like 25k damage. The next post was like 13. So Torch can be an absolute menace when you are unleashed, but they do have that Punisher, which can help with that. Guru also been known to tackle flyers out of the sky. Bedtime trying to get a freeze there, but still not able to do that just yet. Energy with great positioning here, playing around. This is a very strong Torch position with almost a full ult ready. Flyquest is going to be slightly behind in ultimates, as Solaris will have a ton ready in this next fight. Will they get the job done?
Well, I mean, they grabbed him on the inside. Supernova comes out as well. Adios finds Guru. So no, Guru got choke slammed and dominated by Adios. Here comes the counter ult from Gale, but they're already down Guru. He got KO'd earlier. But with the ultimate, invisible boundary, Gale finds Cooper, now forcing out Eternal Bond. He finds two somehow even through. Energy goes down as well.
Yeah, that's another pick, man. They're just getting a ton done. Adios now gonna try to rain into this. Great movement there. Oh, but the tackle to slow things up. But Guru, great escape. Pizza gonna find Adios there. Tries to get eyed. He gets a fair amount. Oh, Spark Chief for the double. Bedtime turns it around though. Gilbert onto Zelos. It is just a trade fest. Vess finds Gale, and once again, numbers are virtually even. I think it's 3-3 on point now, but is there any strats? Energy so on the high side is terrifying as Gilbert goes down. Guru falls off. Adios. They're all going to reset now and try to take this again with 1 minute and 34 on.
I think Gale went for a reset on purpose, but I mean, he did try to grab Energy and just fell off the bat. So that was a little bit silly. Now, Solaris having Guru on another Vanguard yet again instead of the Wolverine. He's going to be on the Groot. We'll see how he does. I mean, no ultimates on the side of Flyquest. They can maybe set up Gilbert Noodle, but it's so hard to kind of get through these chokes with that Human Torch, like you said, Shib. He can play around these walls so easily.
Yeah, you're definitely right. It was definitely meant to be a tackle off map, and it was a reset either way. It doesn't matter. So it was a smart decision. I like the idea. You might as well take one with you. Eye of Agamotto goes out. Gilbert finds a few. No, unfortunately not. Out goes Invisible Boundary. Cap and Emma both played that very well with the block and the diamond form. Gale doing what Gale does. Out goes the ultimate. Will it get value? Spark is weak. Diamond, a great movement. Oh my goodness. Adios. Gonna collapse on Gale post that ultimate. Cap doing a great job by Spark Chief, dancing around and keeping the team up. Energy does have it this all, but at this point, Energy's kind of holding on to it. Adios gonna drop Bedtime, and it's looking dicey now with 30 on. They've got one more chance at this.
I don't think Guru's comfortable on Group, man. Like, he went down early, now he's back to Wolverine. This one's talking about, man, this is so brutal because now Solaris, it looked so good. How did they go from almost capping it out to now 20 seconds left, 2 ticks, and against Flyquest, who has multiple ultimates? Solaris has nothing. I mean, they're close to that dance floor. That'll hopefully help them. Here comes the Supernova. Really early. Did anybody jump out yet towards the point? Zelos also ulted. They can wait. It was Guru. Guru jumped out. Does Guru go down towards the point? It looks like no. They're going to touch last second.
Oh, Energy with insane placement here, playing around this portal, finds 2. Unfortunately, Pizza's not going to be able to get that dance floor out. That should and could be it. It could be the swan song here as Flyquest is clutching up in this moment, and it's getting to OT, and this is going to be over as Flyquest ends the series 2-1 and move forward in this tournament.
Man, what a series. But unfortunately, the faults of Solaris were a bit too much, I think, to overcome. I mean, we saw both on Aegis of Path and on this one on Central Park. It just did not work out for them. I mean, they just had a harder time when it came to any sort of payloads, any sort of hard point you need to take. They got so close to doing it multiple times. And you cannot, you do nothing but tip your hat to Solaris, right? They took NB to 3 maps. They took Flyquest to 3 maps, and honestly, they played pretty well for a team full of content creators. I think you just have to give them props for, competing to come into this tournament against signed rosters and do as well as they did with no resources except maybe a few Prime subs. So pretty impressive. But for Flyquest, they win. They move on to the next round.